Stealing myself, I slip on my shoes and sneak out into the garden. Yup, this is happening. I'm finally going to learn everything. You say that. I approach the tent, its entrance securely zipped. But that won't stop me. Oh god. We were fine with the shower on this day, but I get the feeling that... Oh no. I know how these things work. I grab hold of the zip. No hesitation here. I'll give them no time to stop me. And then in one swift motion I unzip the tent door. Oh god. Okay, no more secrets. I want answers and I want them... Fabulous. Yeah? Kenta? What the hell do you think you're doing? Oh no. I may have made a mistake here. Apparently, past experiences have taught me nothing. Well, you wouldn't expect for a tent. My jaw drops and I find myself unable to put together any form of reply at the sight before me. Upon opening the tent, I'm greeted by the pair of them undressing in a space that looks far bigger on the inside than it does from the outside. Exactly. Oh, God. A dizzying fragrance drifts forth from the tent and stirs my senses, rendering me more dazed than I already was before. Okay, we're going to use those senses. We're going to have a glorious threesome. Come on, you guys are all thinking it as well. My eyes are torn between the pair, unsure of where to settle as they flit between them. They're both so, pleasing to the eyes. Well, both of them are clearly embarrassed. Sayaka only seems surprised about the whole ordeal. But I can see Hikari practically shaken with what I can only assume is rage. This isn't fair. How's I supposed to know? True. They do this stuff on purpose, I swear. Kenta! Hikari barks, scrambling for something within their oddly spacious tent to cover herself with. Right. Sorry, I was just... The right thing to do here would be to zip the tent back up and wait for them to get dressed. But all I can do is gawk, possibly making the situation more worse than it should be. I would just walk in, sit down and watch them. Not gonna lie. Curse my natural instincts. I can't help but look my voice. It's what I'm programmed to do. Just what? Being a pervert? Hold on. You're not being a pervert when you're admiring such a sight. I mean, you should take this as a compliment. I mean, I can't look my eyes away from either of you. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, keep going, keep going. I'll try my best to look away, but you're like a magnet. You keep pulling me back to you. Oh, God, that was bad, wasn't it? Because I can clearly see that. Oh, God, I hope none of the neighbours can hear this. You've got me all wrong. I just wanted to... She cuts me off. Naturally. Of course, I was never going to be allowed to explain myself. That's just not how it works with these girls. No more excuses. I let you off last time, but now... Well, last time technically wasn't his fault. There was a lock on the door, and neither of you two used it. This time, I suppose it is his fault, but surely to God you can hear a zipper. But then again, he said he wasn't going to, stop. But surely you could screamed out, "We're getting undressed." So it's your fault still. With a blanket covering most of her bare body, Hikari marches towards me with a scary expression, all the while Sayaka stands by. Maybe we should hear him out? Yes, I love you. I'm sure he wouldn't just barge in here with without a good reason. Exactly. She knows it. Oh, he had a good reason, all right. A perverted one. We had no idea what you were doing. No, Hikari, listen to her. I really do. She cracks her fist. Have mercy. Her fist flies, and I soon see stars as I am left flat on my back and gazing skywards within my garden. Oh Lord in heaven. I'm left sprawling out for a good moment before Sayaka and Hikari approach me, now fully dressed. As the words of Jan from Helsinger Bridge, he can die with a raging boner. Oh, why does everything have to be so difficult? I'm sorry. After explaining how I met Yuzuki the other day, I thought it was the same day, okay, and what she had told me, it seems I finally convinced them to explain things. See? I led them to my room so we could more comfortably explain, so we could more comfortably explain things. The tent was an option, but I have bad memories of that place now. The punch part, obviously not what we saw at first. Sayaka plops down onto my bed and excitedly looks about the room. Shut up, stomach. While Hikari stands by the door, still angry about before. It wasn't my fault. I said I was sorry. So this is your room, huh? It's nice to finally be able to see it from the inside after spying on it all this time. I'll pretend I didn't hear that. It's surprisingly neat. Okay, so are you guys finally going to tell me what the heck is going on? I wonder what sort of things Kenta has seen on his computer. Oh, no, take the hard drive out and smash it. Smash it. Let no one know the secrets. Sayaka reaches over and prods at my laptop. Guys, can we focus, please? Oh, right, yeah. I sounded like Schrödinger then when I went like, there. Thank you. Thanks for what? Thank you. There. Sayaka sits up straight and takes it on a serious expression. One that I wasn't even sure she was capable of. We're really gonna tell you, Kenta. We really were gonna tell you, Kenta. There we are. It wasn't something we wanted to keep a secret. But we just thought we could handle things on our own before letting you in on it all. How's that working out for you? But as you've heard from that Yuzuki person, this really is running short now. Time. Yeah, I know all too well. For once, I'm actually not looking forward to E3's bloody Sony press conference. I don't have a PlayStation, but still. Job. Which, by the way, I still can't believe you didn't tell us about up until now. Well, we were. Except you were, kind of dressed. And you hit me across the face. Do you realise how much danger you put yourself in when you went to face her alone? Hikari cuts in and stomps away across to join Sayaka, fire in her eyes. Hold on. See, this is why I didn't tell her anything. I know it was stupid. It wasn't. It was glorious. But it was the only way I could learn anything since you guys weren't being very helpful. That's... She falls silent. Guess I got it there. Good man, Kenta. He has got a point, Hikari. Oh, my girl, Sayaka. Don't side with him. You're supposed to be my partner. Well, she's mine now. So, all I hear is how time is running short. But why? What exactly will happen tomorrow? Oh, that's still vague. The stars sound really bad. What, though? Enough with the cryptic stuff. Oh, I'm sorry. We're just irritated a little. Don't yell at me, Kenta. Sheesh. Calm down, I was just getting to that. I may have lost it a little there. I pull back from her and quiet down. Tell me, Kenta. What do you know about your bloodline? Bloodline? Okay, so we didn't know the full word, but I wasn't far off when I mentioned, sex might be involved. Your ancestors. I don't really... Wait, why is this important? Your blood is the most important thing here. It's why we're even bothering to protect you. Hikari, don't be mean. But your blood is why we were sent. Oh god. If it fell into the wrong hands, namely Yuzuki's, we'd all be in a lot of trouble. Why though? What? Why my blood? I've been asking that question for ages now, and finally it's been answered. What's so special about mine? it might be a little hard to believe, but you're the descendants of a long-running line of mages, people with magical abilities. What? Come again? Where on earth did they dig that up from? I think they came to me with that on the first day we met. I think if they came to me with that on the first day we met, I would have labelled them as crazy. After all I've seen, it's a bit easier to believe. How much more does it need to be spelled out for you? You have mage blood. Shouting it in my ear doesn't really help. Me process it, but you know. Why wouldn't I know something like this? It seems pretty important. Well, the world in general doesn't really know about the existence of magic anymore. It's sort of just something that got lost in the history books as technology slowly began to take over. So, you know, most families with magic in their blood at this point don't even know about it. It's just something that lies dormant now. Okay, so if there's more, why him? Okay, so if a lot of people have this magic blood, what makes mine so special? More special than theirs, anyway. I'm glad you asked. Sayaka hops to her feet from the bed, taking me by surprise. This girl can't sit still for more than a minute, I swear. I won't bore you with all the details, so here's the story in short. She clears her throat as if this were a school presentation she had been practicing for. Hundreds of years ago, back when magic was still prevalent in the world, there existed a mage with tremendous power. So much power, in fact, that she was pretty much the mage at the time. So the Archmage. Everyone looked up to her, and she was an inspiration to all. So an Archmage. But you know what happens to people with all that power in the world, right? Well, two, they either go start crazy with it, or one, they go start crazy with the power and then, you know, go crazy and try to kill people and dominate the world. Or two, people are jealous of that power and they want it for themselves. She frowns and lets out a sigh. They always want more power. Well, that technically comes with the first. It changes people. Corrupts them. So she soon wanted dominion over everything. There we are. Over everyone even. There we are. All the respect that people once had for her turned to fear. And she became a blight on the land. Oh, please. They were obviously jealous of her and envious of her and wanted that power. They just used that as a catalyst and a justifiable excuse to get it for her. To get it for themselves. Everywhere she went, darkness followed and spread across the land as she went about her conquest. So is this she, his grandmother? This is getting pretty lengthy. And why do I feel like I know this person she's talking about? Are you still with me, Kenda? She leans forward and raises an eyebrow as I let out a yawn. Huh? Yeah, totally. I think. But what does this person have to do with me? She's a grandmother. I'm getting there, gosh. That face. Basically, you're related to that person that had the courage to stand up to this Dark Queen and put her in her place. Hey, Hikari! Why did you have to spoil Why did you have to spoil things? Because if you tell the whole story, we're going to be here until the sun rises. And time is of the essence here. I was really getting into it there and everything. Thanks, Hikari. So, I was kind of hoping he was on the villain side. Well, not really related to the bad girl. I appreciate it. So, what? Mine's just killed this evil queen person? No! If he did, we wouldn't be here having this conversation right now. No, with all the power she had, killing her was an impossibility. I wouldn't go as far as to say she was immortal, but I'm sure it was pretty close. The best it could do was seal her. Oh, that was obvious. Using the most powerful sealing magic he could muster. Yet it's breaking. If it's one of those cliche decay over time things, I was just like, if you know it's good at decay over time, make one that repeats after the one is decayed. Like, you know, a time limit. Like, oh, this is going to inspire in a couple of days. Let's prepare. This one will appear and then activate, seal her again. There, why didn't you do that? Which leads us back to the magical old blood pumping around inside you, Kenta. Essentially, he tied his fate with hers when locking her away. Oh, is this going Crivius on my ass? A seal so powerful that it will only unlock when one strict condition is met. It's going Crivius, isn't it? And what condition is that? I think you should know by now. Something to do with... yeah, it went Crivius on my ass. My blood, right? Bingo. Her seal will only truly unlock if it comes into contact with the blood of the one who sealed her away, or by extension, any of his descendants. Well, actually, not just any descendant. It has to be one who has latent magical powers residing within them. So that means... it means your dad is safe, and that the shadows have no interest in him. He does have some magic in his blood, but it's not really enough to realize any abilities. Realize or release? Yeah. Huh. That's pretty convenient. Sayaka stretches and lets out a tiny yawn. It must have been exhausting for her to focus on one subject for so long. But I think things are finally starting to make sense. So are you following so far? Yeah, I think. Basically, my blood is the key to unlocking something terrible. Crivius! Pretty much. But then, if it's connected to my blood, why are we running out of time? Yes. There shouldn't be any time unless you're related to Yuzuki. No, you said male. The seal will thankfully never break unless your blood is spilled. But it's been a long time since she's been imprisoned, so it was a time limit, meaning that the seal is weakening in its effectiveness with each passing day, and ever so slowly her influence has been creeping into the world. I'm so fucking surprised. Incompetent mages. Kenta, your headaches? I see. So she's almost calling out to me in a sense. Oh my fucking god, it's Crivius. It's why the monsters have been as organized as they have. And why that girl Yuzuki, she instilled whatever power she could muster into that girl and is using her as a puppet until she's finally free herself. Oh, I was right, I hit the ball with that. I'm not sure what lies she must have fed to that girl in order to get her to obey, but she's infected her mind. And given the current rate that her vileness has been seeping from her prison, tomorrow will be when she achieves even more influence on the world. The monsters will become more rampant than before. Yuzuki will become more powerful too. Basically, our job will become even more difficult than it already is. That's bad, huh? Very. Which brings us to our next order of business. When we were first assigned to watch over you, all we had to do was take care of a stray shadow or two if they suddenly decided to act on instinct. And that was easy enough. You had no idea those things even existed, and we were able to keep hidden and watch from afar. But then things started to go wrong. When you saw that shadow, it really took both Hikari and I by surprise. It was like it was on a mission and completely slipped past our super vigilant watch. If I recall, wasn't that the day you insisted on getting a sand? Nope. We were ever vigilant. I guess I was even luckier than I thought that they had managed to save me back then. So anyway, once we were forced to show ourselves to you, it was clear that something wasn't right. At all. And that was only even more obvious when Yuzuki assaulted us, wielding a power unlike anything we'd seen before. We've been looking into it when we have the free time, which is really ever when tasked with having to watch it after you. Well, excuse me for existing. And it quickly became apparent that things weren't going to solve themselves once we learned that this seal in place has been slowly weakening. Oh god, I'm going to kill him. We need to reform her prison. Reinforce, right? Strengthen it, so that her influence can't affect the outside world anymore. Only if it were that easy. We could have done it ourselves without bothering you. Sayaka pulls a complicated expression. I don't think I'm going to like what she has to say next. Kenta, we need your help. Me? How the heck am I supposed to help? You guys are the ones with all the fancy powers. It's not exactly ideal that we have to rely on you. I know, but we have no other choice. And we're out of time to search for alternate means. Basically, since the seal was created by someone in your bloodline and linked directly to them, it can only be strengthened by someone bearing the same blood. But how can we strengthen it if we don't know how to strengthen it? I mean, technically we could break the seal that's there and trap her in a new one, but I don't think we'd last long enough to do that. So in other words... Oh god, damn it. So in other words, I'm really the only solution here. I'm not sure how to take this. Oh god, insubordination. I don't know the first thing about this magic business, though. Am I even capable of doing such a thing? Sayaka takes a moment to ponder things, a finger held to her chin as her eyes run over me. Do you remember the night when Hikari was having fun with that tentacle shadow? Yes. I was not having fun. I guess so. But what does that have to do with anything? The sword! You used Hikari's sword, didn't you? Yeah. But I don't. Kenta, you must have noticed yourself how light that sword was despite its size, right? It's a blade infused with magic that connects with the wielder to deal swift and powerful blows with ease. So infused, in fact, that if someone not capable of controlling that magic were to attempt to wield it... Oh shit! Oh good lord! Do you not realise the act of heroism we just did then? They go boom. The magic would be too much for them to handle. Boom? Well, maybe not explode. But at the very least, it'd bring about a messy end. And given that you're standing after swinging that thing around, it's safe to say you have the potential in you. Yikes. I can't believe there was even a possibility of exploding from picking up her sword. What I did back then was even more reckless than I realised. So if you can handle that sword, I think a little sealing magic should be no problem. But if she... why can't you just place the seal on top of the seal? But then, it also means we have to go to where she's sealed. Taking along the one thing she's been seeking for all these years. It'll be reckless. And one mistake will mean we could put the world in danger. No pressure then, huh? I try my best to keep things light-hearted and force out an awkward laugh, but it's difficult after hearing all this. To think that somehow I'm both the key to unlocking this woman from a prison and the only thing that can put her away for good. Tomorrow's our last chance to stop this before it spirals out of control. I think you're going to have to skip a day of school, Kenta. I wonder if outsaving the world is a valid enough excuse to miss a day of school. That's if you choose to help us. I'll understand if you don't feel up to it. Maybe we can find another way. But there isn't another way, is there? That's the whole reason why you're telling me all this. I heave out a sigh. I give my guardians a look over. They've done so much for me in this past week. And even more than I realised behind the scenes. If anything, I owe them this. I swallow hard. I can feel my hands begin to tremble. I might die if I go with them. But then if we leave it, things will only get worse. So, I guess I have no choice here, do I? I'll help with this sealing business. If you think I can manage it. You will? Sayaka looks ecstatic as she claps her hands together. Was she not expecting me to help? Hikari looks equally surprised. Geez, a little faith goes a long way, guys. It's the least I can do after you guys have been risking your lives for me every day. If I finally have a way to help, then I'm not going to waste that chance. Kenta. You know, you almost sounded cool there. Almost. I think we need to work on your heroic dialogue. But that'll have to come later. We have lots to cover if you're going to seal away this Dark Queen, so pay attention. And just when I thought the night couldn't get any longer, yet another lecture begins.